Hi, hello, salutations. This year, it's time to lock in. I'm going to tackle my never-ending backlog of games and stop playing League of Legends all day. Today we're playing one of the greatest games I've never finished. Skyrim. Skyrim holds a special place in my heart. I've tried many times to play it as a child. This game came bundled with my Xbox 360 Slim, but there was a small problem. I was too scared to go in any of the caves Skyrim had to offer, so I would always make it out of the starting area, refuse to go into Bleak Falls Barrow and spend my time doing random things around Whiterun instead. Today we're back to see everything Skyrim has to offer and collect the Platinum Trophy. We all know how this goes. We've been arrested, we create our character, a dragon attacks Helgen, saving us from being executed at the last minute, and we make our escape, choosing to side with Ulfric Stormcloak and heading inside the building to escape. Here's where the shenanigans start. We bonk some nearby Imperial guards trying to stop us leave, and one of them actually has the key to the door in front of us, and I can steal this key before Ralof picks it up, and he's now trapped in here with me. This guy is deemed an essential NPC and will not attack us, so if I stand behind him and give him a little bonk, we can actually level up our one-handed skill and our sneak skill. I think you can figure out what I plan to do. And boom, just like that, we have leveled up our sneak skill to level 100, ticking off one of the longer trophies we have to get. We also picked up trophies for getting to level 5 and level 10 as well, so we're already 3 trophies down before finishing the tutorial. Honestly, this was not my brightest idea, and you'll see why later. In the meantime, we laid the smackdown on just about anyone we could get our hands on, and we escaped Helgen, and are now free to roam Skyrim as we see fit, completing the first quest and unlocking the Unbound trophy. We wander down a path towards a nearby village. On the way we find 3 stones that will give us a blessing. Making my choice unlocks the next trophy. For the next trophy, we need to channel our inner Thomas Jacob Black by chopping wood, cooking food and mining ore. Now that we've finished Minecrafting, we've just unlocked another trophy. So at the moment we're currently around Riverwood, but we need to head to Whiterun, our first major city. We have to actually persuade some guards to let me into the city, and not 5 seconds later, I murdered the first guy I saw and got arrested. We were sent straight to jail and I lived the rest of my life there. The end. I'm joking. The guards did not find the get out jail free card I had hid deep inside my prison pocket, and we bust out of jail, unlocking the next trophy. After retiring from my short life of crime, we warned the Jarl of Whiterun about the dragon attack, and must next go to Bleak Falls Barrow to retrieve a dragon claw. Now this is just a dungeon full of enemies, small, very minor problem though. I'm much higher level than normal, so the boss here is higher level too, and I can't use my sneak stat to kill him. So yeah, I spent far longer than I'd like to admit being ragdolled by this guy. I had to spend 15 minutes standing behind a chest and abusing his terrible pathing to actually kill him. Not my most proud moment, but we've certainly got a lot of improvement to do if we want to save Skyrim. After that, we returned to Whiterun to turn in the quest, and got given the next trophy. While I'm here in Whiterun actually, I need to make a smithed item, an enchanted item, and a potion for a trophy. I can do all 3 of those now. Boom, boom, bap, and there we go, we've got another trophy. We're alerted to a dragon attack outside Whiterun. The only problem is though my character is not experienced in Harry Potter wizardry or Katniss Everdeen type bow skills. So I must stand there and wait for the dragon to land so I can seize my opportunity. So I can seize my opportunity when the dragon attacks, slashing at it until it falls. Something strange happens though. We absorb the soul of the dragon we just slayed. This allows us to learn powerful new shouts from an ancient form of magic, and we got the next trophy. As is tradition in a Fallout or Elder Scrolls game, I had been shoving everything of value I can find into my pockets. And now that we've slain the dragon, we've saved up enough money to buy a house in Whiterun, and I can finally settle down and retire. Okay, I'll stop with these jokes. After slaying the dragon, we're sent to complete the quest, the Way of the Voice. Now there is an intended path to get to it, but I swear everyone has tried to take a shortcut up the mountain that actually takes 3 times as long. Once I eventually got there, I talked to some old dudes, they showed me how to run a 100 meter dash in under 10 seconds with a new shout, and the quest is complete, giving me another trophy. Real quick, we're going to get sidetracked and go join the Stormcloak guys from earlier that I escaped Helgen with. Now I need to prove my worth to them to actually join them by killing a certain enemy. Sure, simple enough. Apart from they sent me on a 4,000 mile hike to get there. I'm literally here and have to waddle all the way over here to kill just one enemy. On the way, I punched a bear's lights out, got ate by a dragon, and lost my professional boxing debut against a giant. We eventually got there, dealt with the target and returned to the Stormcloaks and got given another trophy. So when you learn a shout, it will come with multiple words to learn, like Frus Rodar. Frus is only one word of it, and you only learn a part at once, and I need to learn every word of a shout for a trophy. Thankfully Gandalf here and the rest of the 3 wise men will teach me a full shout, and we've knocked off another trophy. I can't really explain everything I have to do quest wise, otherwise me and you both might be here for hours. But a little further down the main quest line, we have to complete a quest called Diplomatic Immunity. We have to head to Solitude to attend a party, give a man a drink to cause a distraction, grab our equipment that was smuggled in for us, start a kerfuffle and steal some important documents. Once we turn in the documents and complete the quest, we're given our 15th trophy. In Skyrim, the primary antagonist of the story is a dragon named Alduin. Now, you've seen my performance against dragons so far. Arguably, the indomitable human spirit and a clean uppercut straight from the depths of hell might do the job on Alduin, but apparently not. I need to find the shout that was used to defeat Alduin many years ago. We can find some clues about it, and once Alduin's wall is translated to us, we're done with this trophy. Maybe it's just me, but every single time I start a playthrough of Skyrim, it always starts the same. This time I'm going to try a mage, maybe a ranged build, something like that. But every single time, I end up defaulting to the old reliable strategy of dishing out these hands. But that changes. We're going to join the College of Winterhold and learn how to defeat Voldemort. Before then though, more main story stuff. This next trophy is a very long quest related trophy, but I'm just going to break it down for you. We are looking for an Elder Scroll to help defeat Alduin. Oh my god, he said the name of the game! And at the end of this quest, we find what we're looking for and get our hands on an Elder Scroll. This will allow us to use a shout that forces dragons to land. Basically meaning Alduin will be forced to land, at which point we will attempt to hit him with a stone cold stunner. Unfortunately it doesn't work though. After beating Alduin, he simply flies away to regain his strength and we must take the fight to him. We have to capture another dragon and get him to reveal Alduin's location, at which we force him to be our unpaid Uber driver and take us straight to Alduin. Man, I absolutely love how silly this camera angle is. On our way to Alduin, I leveled up to level 25, unlocking a trophy. And now, it's time for our final showdown. We use the shout to force Alduin to land, at which point we team up on him and keep chopping at him until he falls. I mean, just look how cool this death animation is for Alduin. With Alduin defeated, we have now finished the main storyline of Skyrim. With the main storyline complete, we still have 31 more trophies to get. Let's start with the Stormcloaks. We basically need to either win the war for the Imperials or the Stormcloaks, and well, I've already made my choice. I didn't actually like this quest though, since I've sided with the Stormcloaks we have to attack Whiterun. I didn't like it since Whiterun always feels like home to me in Skyrim. After that, we had to capture Fort Greenwall. We just simply rocked up and removed every Imperial at the fort, taking over the fort and taking down another trophy. After Greenwall, we have to invade Solitude. The idea is the same: bust into Solitude, kill the Imperial guards, dispose of the general, taking over Solitude with the Stormcloaks. With that done, we've finished the Stormcloak trophies. Next up, we have to head back to Whiterun to join the Companions. Yep, these guys are located in the same Whiterun that I just invaded. First I have to have a quick scrap with this guy, and he literally stops fighting the second I hit him. Then run a few errands for people before being shown my room and becoming an official part of the Companions. After grafting and completing some quests, working my way up the ranks, I can take a blood oath and become a member of the Circle. Yep, it seems like I am now a werewolf. With my transformation complete, we turn back from a werewolf and unlock the next trophy. The companions are basically at war with a group called the Silverhands, and when we return from a quest, the leader of the companions, Kodlak, has been killed. We must explore a tomb and find the ghost of Kodlak, freeing him and allowing him to go to Sovngarde, the Nordic afterlife. We can cure ourselves from being a werewolf here too, and well, I don't need it anymore, so my time as a werewolf was short-lived. You know, I don't really give my opinions on these things, but I read somewhere that describes the Mages Guild in Skyrim as being nothing like Hogwarts. This is true. These quests are very long and not nearly as fun as being in Hogwarts. Plus, I'm not very invested in magic in Skyrim, and there are hardly any instances in the Mages quests where you actually need to use magic. So I was just Maximus Decimus Meridius cosplaying as a mage. But we completed Revealing the Unseen, and that got me a trophy. All that's left to do for this questline now is to bring peace back to Winterhold, and to do that we have to kill the primary antagonist of the Mage's questline and restore peace. Maybe I'd be more invested if there was actual reasons to use magic in this questline, or maybe I'm just being overly critical. You can let me know your opinion of it if you wish. It's time to join the Thieves Guild, and to do so I need to resolve the outstanding debts of 3 people. Now the first lady, I managed to resolve things peacefully with her. Would you believe the second guy also wanted to come to an agreement like sensible adults? The third person had already got wind of what happened to the last 2 people and wanted to resolve her debt. With that collected, we're now a part of the Thieves Guild. One of the remaining trophies requires me to persuade, bribe and intimidate people in dialogue. Now the last thing I needed to do was intimidate someone, and I found this guy while working through the Thieves Guild. I told him, you better scramble like an egg before you get folded like an omelette, and it worked. We successfully intimidated him and got 1 more trophy. The Thieves Guild is cool. You get an unbreakable skeleton key lockpick, but sadly we have to give it up in order to finish the questline. We turn over the skeleton key and in return get a trophy, and have finished the Thieves Guild quest. Well, almost. The last thing we need to do for this guild is return the Thieves Guild to its former glory. This is a massive pain. I have to complete random jobs given to me by the guild, and I have to finish 5 of these in 4 major cities, so a minimum of 20 quests. And you might not get the city you need to finish when you're given the quest, so you have to fail the quest and hope it gives you one in the city that you need. Once that is done, you have to complete an influence quest in each of the 4 cities. And finally, when that is done, you have returned the Thieves Guild to its former glory. So that's a bare minimum of 24 quests, assuming you always get the city you need, which won't happen, so it's far more than 24 quests needed. With the Thieves Guild complete, I set out on a quest to join the Dark Brotherhood, and on my way I discovered Falkreath, which happened to be my 100th location discovered, so I unlocked another trophy. Joining the Dark Brotherhood is actually kinda crazy. We have to talk to this kid, who makes us permanently relocate this woman who has been cruel and heartless. Next, we go to bed and wake up in a strange room, and we're given the choice to execute one of 3 prisoners. With that done, we head to the Dark Brotherhood hideout, join the guild and get our trophy. We're basically assassins in these quests, and my favourite part is the next trophy requires us to assassinate a bride at her own wedding. I hit her with a rage spell, and she got annihilated by the other guests before I even turned around. With the bride dead, we ran off and returned to the Dark Brotherhood to hand in the quest. Towards the end of the questline, we're given money towards the Dark Brotherhood, 20,000 to be exact. And well, that takes me over the 100,000 total gold required for the Golden Touch trophy, so we've got the next trophy. You know what, I'm never giving them the money, oh well. The ending of this questline requires you to sneak onto a bow and take out a target. With the target dealt with, we have finished all the guild related trophies Skyrim has to offer. Now all that's left to do is some good old fashioned buffoonery. Daedric artifacts. There are 2 trophies tied to these artifacts. You're given 1 for picking up your first artifact. Now to get these, you basically have to complete a unique quest and it's given as a reward at the end of the quest. I simply went through the list of quests, and after completing my first quest and collecting an artifact, I got a trophy. A short while later, I had completed enough quests to have 15 Daedric artifacts in my possession, giving me the trophy. Next, it was time to go back to our life of crime. I need 1,000 gold bounty in all 9 holds, so yeah, it's time to get to work. killing our final target, we have generously reduced the population of Skyrim by 9 people, got 9,000 gold worth of bounties and collected our trophy. Next I needed to complete 50 miscellaneous objectives. These are handed out by basically anyone in Skyrim and are very short. The last one I did, I literally just needed to take a book off this corpse and read it. At the start of the journey, dragons were the main threat. Now the main threat is me. I needed one last dragon kill to absorb, and it took just several swings to slay my last dragon. I absorbed its soul and got a trophy for killing 20 dragons. I'm going to quick fire through these next trophies because I haven't got much to say about them. We cleared 50 dungeons, completed 10 side quests, found 13 standing stones, picked 50 locks and pockets. I was like Robin Hood, but I just kept it to myself. I'm just describing the government. I learned 20 shouts, and then finally read 50 skill books. We're now 2 trophies away from the fabled platinum trophy of Skyrim. The way I did this next trophy is such a Skyrim thing. If you get arrested in Riften and sent to jail, you could just knock out every guard in the prison. And well, you can't get arrested while you are arrested, so I can just pickpocket this guy over and over. I give him gold and then immediately take it away from him. And that actually levels up my pickpocket skill, which in turn gives me XP. And I repeated this over and over until I had leveled my character all the way up to level 50. So what's left? What is the last trophy remaining in Skyrim? For the last trophy we need to get married. Yep, that's it. I found a suitable bride, got married to her, and we had got given the final trophy and the platinum trophy for Skyrim. I immediately regretted it and tried murdering her, but that didn't work sadly.